potentially be on the wrong foot, but here we are, like you said, going to Sanctuary. It's a little bit hard to lock people down with walls, so we may see Winstrike coming out with something a little bit different to what we'd usually expect. But, well, like you said, these teams have been together for a long time. The team that stays together wins together, but one of these teams will have their 2018 Contenders journey ended today. And others going to be moving forward to the semi-finals to face off against Morning Stars.
Wow, okay, so Winstrike, I'm just waiting for a couple of seconds, but no, they are actually running out with quad heals, as Kenzie is actually on the Ana. He doesn't need a wall, he just needs a bio grenade and a lot of healing. Blooddy's already dead, though.
Well, you don't want to catch
Strike
those.
From Sharik, straight through the shield. That'd be Erky going down as well. I'm just thinking to myself right now, Harry, if I was in queue, and I saw this comp locked in, and I'm like, okay, Sharik doesn't actually need to hold the shield button right now because he has a ridiculous amount of heals, right? That's the game plan, is what I'm thinking.
I think if you're in comp queue right now and you saw this in this particular composition, you'd be like, why do I keep getting 3 support mains on my team when I play Zenyatta?
Feels like me every single game.
Well, we'll have to see if this holds up for Winstrike, and they've likely picked this because they don't really have a dedicated D.Va player on their team. Sometimes Unfixed can bring it out, but it's not really his preferred hero, whereas Angry Titans have the dedicated D.Va in Elivote, who's one of the better off-tanks we've seen in Contenders.
Well, Korea's known for quad DPS, we're apparently known for quad heals now. Winstrike are just going to make their way onto the point, of course. 25% already captured, Sharik on 90% towards his Shatter 2. Losish trailing far behind. Main's going to go down though, not enough healing apparently. Aang is going to follow him, Chow as well. Sharik trying to get a little bit something more, but Luddy just trying to finally clean out Kenzie, who gets pinned up against the wall. And Angry Titans find the recap.
Surgical precision there from Angry Titans, using the speed boost to move on to the characters of Winstrike. And you got to remember, when you're not running that triple tank, that does mean you have 3 characters, all of which have 200 HP. And Brigida, she's only got 250. You can be taken down incredibly fast by focused fire. Even if there's not so much damage from the tanks, you can still be eliminated in very short order. We're going to be seeing Sharik here trying to open this up, of course, with the Earth Shadow. Can combine with Unfixed if they can get some good laydowns.
Nice grab right in the back. Grab equaled out as well as the Transcendence coming through from Winstrike. Unfixed is already dead. 5v6 for AT. Nano Boost goes onto the Rhine. A nice leap dive on the back onto the D.Va, but a boop away onto Sharik means he can't do as much damage as he so chooses. A shot around the corner, but it is going to get completely denied as Erky finds the shield bash. Shao's going to go down, Sharik's going to follow, and Angry Titans continue to hold.
And one of the things about Winstrike's composition here is that the number of threats are rather limited. You're very much looking towards Sharik because he's always going to be the focus of so much healing, and he's going to have so many resources allocated to him. Kenzie's going to move over now onto the Mei. This is more sort of like the classic Winstrike comp that we've seen before, but as you alluded to at the beginning of Sanctuary Jaws, it's not the greatest map to play the Mei on because there aren't really any massive choke points, especially when you're attacking with the Mei. It's going to be very hard to try and isolate Lolsish here. You're going to potentially have to try and wall him off into one of these small areas, but Lolsish knows that the Mei's here now. He's not going to be too aggressive.
Blank Mei coming in. Lolsish going to be in a bit of a trouble, but he's going to be able to back off, like you said. No real big choke points, but Lolsish does get frozen up, so that Graviton Surge wasn't really aided with the damage from the Reinhardt. Both Zaya's finding a kill, and Unfixed and Lolsish. Sharik is also going to fall. A Graviton Surge here for Winstrike as they throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Angry Titans. 90% on the board, so they trade 1-for-1 yet again. Kenzie almost nearing that Blizzard as well, and a Transcendence keeping him alive. A nice wall actually to isolate himself, but he just walks on around it, swings his flail a little bit, and finds the kill onto main as well. Now overtime is here, and the staggering push from Winstrike coming in. Chow jumping onto that Tracer, but too little too late as Unfixed, Sharik, they're going to go down, and Angry Titans are going to claim Sanctuary.
And there we had a very effective flank from Kenzie, built up his Blizzard incredibly fast, but we saw Chow throwing out that Graviton a little bit too early to catch a lot of people in there, but still, Elivote managed to have the defense matrix up for about 2 seconds there, ate up a lot of incoming fire, meant that there wasn't the ability for Kenzie to build up towards that barrage? No, the Blizzard. So they couldn't combine it into that sort of like Winter Storm combination of the Graviton and the Blizzard, and that's really the main sort of win condition for Winstrike. But moving over to Mecha Base, this is where we said we wanted to see the Mei.
When you're sticking on Ana for that long in this quad heals, you got a lot of heals, right? Burst damage, like you said, on the low squishy targets. Focus down. Problem was, because they had the Ana for so long as well, had no opportunity to use that Snow Globe, Harry. However, Mega base, pretty good, like you mentioned. Only 3 chokes really you can assault from. It's all about Winstrike, though, getting up in the face of Angry Titans. But AT, they're going to run a May of their own. Only God taking a leap out of Kenzie's book.
Oh, Winter is definitely here. Both the walls have gone down, and everyone's moving in towards Sharek. He's already gone down, Jaws.
Oh, my goodness, okay. That was a nice wall, actually, by Only God. Waiting for Kenzie's to come out so they can navigate around it, and then walling the rest of Winstrike off. A very quick team kill for AT before the point unlocks even, and they should be able to claim.
Look at the difference in ult charges here between AFOX and Main. There was some great bisection of Winstrike there by Only God's wall. Made sure that Main could do nothing to help out his teammates. Couldn't land any of those orbs, couldn't apply the discos, whereas AFOX had free reign.
Nice, there's a no gap actually on the side, so Only God's instantly going to be able to jump onto Sharek. He's going to get stunned up. However, he is in the corner, so he's going to have to deal with Kenzie, who is freezing up his tank as well. However, that bubble does cleanse the slow, cleanses the freeze as well, so you're going to be able to get out of there as soon as you have Ellie Vote hitting that E key on you. Winstrike yet again go down. However, Angry Titans, they've only got 2 ults to the name. Winstrike, they're still building up to theirs, but as soon as they hit that snow globe, we know what they can do with it.
Lolsish there literally playing bait, jumping in the corner of his shield up, trying to have as much attention levied towards him as possible. Even had Kenzie basically cuddling up to him for warmth in the old winter season, what we're experiencing right now. It's going to be a quick rotation coming through from Winstrike. They're going to open up with the wall, but they are going to be blocked off as well. But not quite the flank they needed.
Really nice wall actually to stop Only God getting his off. The shadow does go down, but absorbed by the shield of Sharek, who's only 10% away from his own shatter. A transcendence there to keep everybody alive, who's just pinned in between the 2 May walls. Sharek now earning himself a shatter, but can't quite find a place to lay it down as AT bring out their own transcendence. Now they find the pick off potentially as Losish trapped on the other side of the wall, but the Graviton gets thrown in by AT. Winstrike get dunked, and that'll be Chow just chasing down the rest of the members of AT, or at least trying to, as Luddy is just picking people off in the sidelines. Losish is going to fall, but Only God still has the blizzard if he needs it. Only God is going to be there, just being able to defend with the May in that Graviton surge, but counter May on Kenzie is actually going to find a couple of kills of his own. In the end of it all, Harry, Winstrike, they did manage to cap the point.
They did, but it took much longer and far more resources than it should have. I saw a really cool piece of tech there, actually. We saw Lolsish get walled off on his own by Kenzie, but Only God actually sort of wrapped around the wall and placed down his own to boost Lolsish up over the other wall. It was incredible teamwork. I don't even know if it was intentional, because it was just so cool. It's going to be 2 blocking walls to begin with. No one's going to be taking too much damage. Winstrike going to have a quick disengage, recompile their thoughts, while Angry Titans are going to be trying to set up once again for that dash shadow. Last time, Urki fell a bit short, could not connect with Sharek. He'll have to do a little bit better this time, judge that shield bash distance far more effectively.
What a fresh rally for Angry Titans as they do jump onto the point and bash into a shatter, into a transcendence from Winstrike. Sharek still has his shatter available, but Unfix is dead. They cannot get that combination off now, and they have to run into AFOX with his transcendence. Sharek tries to make it work. The hero play hits it to the ground, but again absorbed by Lolsish. That'll be Angry Titans reclaiming the point at 70, going on 80%. They're 20% away from claiming the map.
Not a fan of the attempted hero play there. Unfixed had gone down, so they had no way to combine those particular abilities, and now it's going to have to be a mad dash to the point for Winstrike. They don't really have that many resources to use. They've already used that Graviton surge, however, Only got to try to block everyone away from it.
Yeah, Elibo actually get right-clicked by Main there. Not entirely sure how that happened, and Winstrike actually capping the point right now. They're going to be able to delay this a little bit out further. However, Angry Titans are still going to manage to find their almost team wipe. AIM was on that point the whole time, did manage to find the recap, buying additional seconds, but it is only him. One Lucio versus the world. Finally gets taken out by Urki. They find the recap, and now it's the trickling of members from Winstrike to actually get back to the point. Chow back onto the DPS we known and loved him for all those years ago. OT is there, and I gotta say, AT made it look pretty easy going up against Winstrike's May. Just pull out a May of your own.
Well, we definitely saw what we sort of lauded AT for in the early stage of Contenders. They were the first team to really use quad tank effectively as sort of like a mainstay of strategy, including maps like Hanamura, where we just saw them run it down the middle. And that's what we really came to know AT as. In Season 2, we were like, do these guys play non-tanks? Because it just become so much of a mainstay of their repertoire. And then we discovered they play all kinds of things, including the May. They can go May versus May here. And it does look like they've developed this May strategy as a counter for the May strategy. They really want to be able to play around those walls, and we saw exactly that with the boosting of Lolsish over the enemy wall. You're like, okay, he can't escape because he doesn't have vertical mobility, let's give him some.
It seems like as soon as Winstrike pulled out in the first couple of weeks, it was a bit of a shock to everybody, in all honesty. And they did say that we struggle a little bit in this meta trying to make it work, but we found something that does actually do that. Problem is, over the last few weeks, it has been the same thing over and over. And AT have just had so many VODs and things to look at and say, maybe this is actually how you counter it. Turns out you just play a May of your own. They go 2-0 in that map, and they do claim the first map of the series. We're going to jump to a quick break, though, and it will be Winstrike's turn to pick their own. Hey guys, welcome back. Map number 2 coming up very soon. It was Winstrike's choice, of course, so we'll see what they do actually want to play. Angry Titans took Busan 2-0. It was fairly surprising. I thought it would at least go 2-1 in someone's favor, just because it has been a map Winstrike have been able to perform on week after week.
Yeah, I felt like Mecha Base would definitely go their way, but in this case, no. They had a look at Winstrike's strategy and said, that's good.
We'll take that for ourselves.
That's ours now.
That's mine now.
You made this? I made this. Well, Only God definitely flexing his hero pool there, and there's going to be opportunities to flex hero pools as well, as Winstrike have picked Hollywood. And when I think of Hollywood, I think Second Point, I think Widowmaker, and I think Kenzie, but Only God, he's no slouch on the Femme Fatale.
Also pretty good on the Genji too, so if they do want to run something a little bit more dive-centric on second, they very much could do. Angry Titans are going to be on the defense first, with Winstrike on the offense. And one thing about Angry Titans, they had a little bit of a slump during the middle of the season against Shu. It was a very interesting match, and what we could have said would be a fairly easy game for AT. But they managed to only win one map, and that was on, I believe, Dorado, and they didn't really find their own footing. But they are a team with incredibly quick turnarounds, and one of the reasons you could attribute that to is their team has been together for so long, so much of experience as well under their belts. It's kind of hard to imagine that these guys aren't going to be able to turn around things that aren't going their way in certain maps.
Yeah, but when you look at that sort of thing, you've got to wonder, how is consistency going to be an issue for either of these teams? Angry Titans, of course, have pulled ahead, taking out control, but can they remain consistent?
Nice.
Eng just got taught how to snipe. Do not test a fox.
He was
fox is for predator
as well.
here.
He was like, I'm just going to scout.
I'm just scouting, guys.
Imagine if your voice comms actually turned off when you died. That'd be incredibly annoying.
That would be very good for role players.
Yeah, it'd be fairly comical too. Winstrike running with the Kenzie on the Mei. What a surprise. As Angry Titans are going to do same old, 3-3 with the Reinhardt.
And you can see right now that Angry Titans are clustering together. They don't want to be bisected entirely by the Mei. Just want to have potentially made into 3-3 rather than have one person being cut off.
That was a beautiful boop on main there, but Avox is actually the first to fall, and Onigod gets jumped on in Cafe too. It's a 2-for-2 trade as both Zens and Zayas have gone down. Winstrike with a little bit of an advantage though in terms of spawns, and Urki and Unfix are going to fall too. So it's actually a 4-on-4 now as Avox and main are going to join the fray very, very soon. Sharik's going to fall too, and Kenzie trying his hardest to take out Lolsish, but he's just getting too much help from his Lucio plus his Diva's defense matrix. AT, they're going to hold for the time being. Don't get any % on the point, but Winstrike going to be able to quickly reset.
Beautiful defense matrix there from Underwood to save Lolsish when he was so low and frozen, eating all the ice cores that were coming in. But I've also got to credit Eng getting a boop onto Onigod, firing him over a health pack he was trying to claim, which meant that they could be taking that out early.
Those shatters available, one being used. Lolsish, in fact, both being used as they hit the ground at the same time, but Sharik is actually the recipient of a death as Kenzie goes down as well, as Urki finds the kill on him. Winstrike, they haven't got the Snow Globe combo just yet, Harry. They have got the Blizzard online, however. All that damage Kenzie was doing in the first push has netted him an ult, but Angry Titans have got 2 support ults to really deal with that, plus the rally as well.
And look at the premium on ultimate charge between Onigod and Shao. Onigod's a good 40% ahead and already has the Graviton Surge ready to go. If he strikes first here, he could potentially lap Chao if they win the next fight. And of course, Kenzie maybe a little bit trepidatious about really laying down that ultimate without the combination.
Well, there's the grab. The wall as well is going to stop a lot of that damage, and the Blizzard actually lay it on top. Angry Titans weren't actually on that, so they're not going to get frozen up. Elivo taking to the high ground as well, trying to get a flank kill. A grab comes out, but it gets completely denied as the beat and the trance come out from either side. Luddy still has his sound barrier too as he manages to take out Sharik, and AT are still holding fast. They refuse to let go at this point, plus they actually saved a support ultimate in that fight as well.
Lolsish not having a good time right now. So much control is being attributed to him between the shield bash and, of course, the slows of Kenzie. And the slows here are incredibly important because it means you are, as a player, you judge a lot of your actions on what you believe to be your standard rate of acceleration as a character, and when that is taken away from you, you can often find yourself playing in ways that you normally would but are now very unacceptable in terms of a risk to reward sort of ratio that you can expect.
Snow Globe still not available for Winstrike. They just can't seem to build it up. The self-destruct is going to go sky high, straight on top of the wall, deletes a couple of the columns, but Winstrike were able to scurry back behind the car near security in order to get away. Onigod nearing another Graviton Surge as well, and they still have that shatter. Problem is, Harry, they've only got 50 seconds remaining.
There's the bash, but it didn't hit Sharik. Well, bash hit Sharik, but the Earth Shatter didn't.
Lolsish is going to hit right into him and going to get walled off as well. Sharik goes extremely low, and the Transcendence is going to propel them forward. With Lolsish dead, there's no main tank to stop all that damage coming in. However, that Snow Globe is going to be used in the opposite way as AT actually throw in the grab, and Kenzie used that Blizzard once more in a more defensive manner. Chao has that Graviton Surge still in his back pocket to use, but I doubt he's actually going to need it as Luddy and Urki are going to go down. Elivo gets demeched, and Winstrike finally make the dent they need in Angry Titans defense.
I'm not a fan of Elivo's early self-destruct there either. Onigod basically had the Graviton Surge ready to go, and then they could not combine those ultimates, and that's so important because the D-Divad mech, which you send out for self-destruct, isn't so affected by the Blizzard, which Kenzie right now has been using defensively to try and save his team from incoming damage onto the Graviton Surge, because then the main source of damage into that Graviton are going to be Lolsish swinging and Urki swinging, because you can have Sharik hold up his shield, you can have Chao use his own shield to try and avoid long-range fire, so they use the Blizzard to try and avoid that.
Still Kenzie, 55% away. Imagine that Sogo. Poor Luddy. He saw Sharek coming, he was like, nope, not today. 1v1, Rindall at the back, but Chow, he's doing a lot of damage in the front line. Sharek does win out that 1v1 in the end. Winstrike is still managing to push forwards. They don't really need to use any ults here. Main building up towards his Transcendence. Angry Titan's ult bank, though, not looking too healthy. Aafox should be able to get his online. Elivote too, but it's about Only God right now. Building up towards that grab ASAP. Winstrike, they have got the 2 support ultimates online, yes, but they've got to be careful of Sharek.
Here comes a double jump. Oh, Chow, you got to wait for the other mortar to come down, my dude. At least he managed to put himself onto the elevator. It was calculated.
That's what he was aiming for, the elevator,
calculated.
What are you talking about?
Angry Titans are going to be building up to a couple of ults. They didn't invest anything in that last one. An attempt at the Earth Shadow will bring down Lolsish.
Yeah, well, Lolsish is down there, and there comes a Transcendence as well from both sides, plus the rallies as well. You're going to have to get through that armor on the supports and on the Zarya. Nice shadow from Lolsish, though, and a self-destruct launched in by Elivote. He nets himself 2 kills, and his Winstrike do scurry for the hills. They're still going to be able to push the cart fairly far here, but they've only got a minute remaining. Same situation again, as Kenzie has the ultimate, but Chow does not.
That's an old classic right there, the Earth Shatter into the self-destruct, but let's have a quick look. Kenzie will probably be using this Blizzard once again to try and counteract Only God and his Graviton Surge. I talked about how you try to avoid the melee attackers coming into range of you by making sure they're frozen up if they do so, and it does mean that Angry Titans may have trouble following up onto this ultimate if they cannot eat Kenzie's own Blizzard. So Elivote needs to be on point with that. Just soak the Graviton Surge.
Kenzie's being cheeky. He's on the left-hand side in the saloon, not grabbing a drink, but he can throw the Blizzard out of the door. The Graviton Surge comes in. A wall from Kenzie is going to be able to deny a little bit of space, and the Blizzard's going to come out as well. He finds the freeze on the brick, using the left click as well to get an almost instantaneous freeze. Urki is going to go down, but they trade 1 for 1 as Sharek lays down the hammer. A Transcendence also to push Winstrike forward, and now Lolsish in trouble. He's discorded with no heals and the shield falling fast. Winstrike is still on the cart, pushing it forward, but overtime is in session.
Sharek needs to be protected here. Lottie's trying to boot people off the cart. Elivote has returned. There's a self-destruct. You got to get out of the way, lads.
Oh, you can still recontest in a minute. Kenzie's going to go down, and Elivote's baby diva form is going to fall as well. It is now Luddy just scurrying back, making sure Lolsish can get back to the fight.
Potentially.
There is only one fight that needs to be won right now by 80 to force Winstrike off the point.
And Chow, he can lock everyone down in the Graviton Surge, make sure they can't contest, and they need to come in from 2 different angles. Luddy may have to go on a solo mission. But Aafox is in the top. He's got a Transcendence ready to go. He's managed to already get Sharek so low.
Sharek was half HP, and Aafox jumps off to save the rest of his team with the Transcendence. The beat was laid down by Winstrike, but Sharek was already dead. Chow, Unfix, and Main are going to join him in the grave. OT is going to delete, and Winstrike are going to get held on second.
That right there is heavy winnable for Angry Titans. Winstrike took so long to get through first point. They only had about 2 minutes and 45 seconds to get through second, so even though they managed to win out that first fight incredibly cleanly, their time bank dissipated in a manner, well, of minutes, I guess, of seconds. And eventually, I really want to see Elivote picking up on what Kenzie's currently doing with these Blizzards, because it seems like they could easily get more value out of their Graviton Surges if they just make sure Kenzie can't use Blizzard. So what you need to do, there's no Diva, so Only God's got no pressure on him when he's trying to land these Gravitons. There's nothing to deny that. So what he can do is he can basically wait for Elivote to say, okay, I've got Kenzie in my sights, I know exactly where he is. The second you lay that down, I'm going to use the Defense Matrix, especially if there's boosters as well, because Kenzie uses walls first, maybe try and deny line of sight from a Defense Matrix, but Elivote needs to be the one who's calling these grabs right now so that he can make sure the Blizzard isn't there to defend Winstrike. Well,
the thing is, Harry, Winstrike have only been playing this set strategy, and like I said at the start of this map, Angry Titans have so much VOD footage to look over and pick apart how Winstrike like to play this composition. It was a bit of a surprise to see the quad healer on Busan, yes, but quad healer isn't really tried, true, or tested really, especially in these kind of games. It might have been played in scrims, yes, but it's a very different environment when you're actually playing in a playoff situation. AT are on their chance to attack. Winstrike, they're on defense. Only 1 point, 117 meters surrounds between them and losing to this match point.
Have to see if Main goes for the same cheeky shot that Aafox did at the beginning. Aafox currently charging that up, and you can see Elivote there using the Defense Matrix. They know that basically standing in front of the doors is a risk, and Eng learned that the hard way last time on the Hanzo, so no such risk for Angry Titans. They're playing it safe, and of course, we've got a lot of time to do so. They're going to be watching out for where Kenzie could potentially wall them off, so instead, moving through high ground. Eng can't be caught out here. If you're going to go through that, sideway, that's going to be rather dangerous, but I imagine they'll be just moving on to the point here so they can't be separated so easily.
Yeah, you can see Kenzie positioning himself on these boxes, wants to watch them come through that door, hopefully wall them off. Angry Titans taking that high ground. Kenzie reducing his block there to get a little bit of HP back. AoE heals from the Brig and the Lucio, of course, doing a lot though. A lot. That's a lot of damage onto Losish and Sharek. Both Ryan's traded. Brigitte going extremely low. Unfix is going to go down. That'll be Erky now moving forward on her Brig of his own with the Mei using the Ice Block as well. That is very bad news for Kenzie, who has to play a little bit more defensive. Winstrike have taken the high ground and Luddy ends up going down as well. And Angry Titans are forced into this corner. Only Zenyatta with the healing and the Brig, but she does need to hit somebody to get hers off. So only God's going to have to play a little bit more safe. But with the rest of AT rejoining them, it should be a recontest very soon. Graviton Surge available for Chow, though. He's been raining in those mortars. Wants to use it fairly early as well. Blizzard coming in also. This is the Snow Globe combo we wanted to see as Losish is cut up and completely denied of healing as well as Sharek places that shield between the tank and the Transcendence.
Making sure that line of sight was broken in an attempt from Angry Titans of a counter-attack, but Losish is not there and Kenzie's freezing everyone up.
They're ignoring Kenzie completely and Chow just firing mortar after mortar around the Brig shield, taking her out. A Graviton Surge at the back as Angry Titans are still a man up. Eng is going to be able to kill Elivote in the mess of it all, and a beat coming through from AT as well to hopefully seal the deal on first.
And also really cool interaction there from Kenzie as well. He managed to actually put down the shield towards the end of the cast time of Eng's sound barrier so that the line of sight was given to himself and the Zenyatta.
Nice play, actually, from Unfig. Just to finish off Luddy at the end. Angry Titans still without a tick, and they invested so much into that fight, Harry. Still have the self-destruct, obviously, and the Shatter available, but they're going to run into Kenzie's Blizzard and hopefully Chow's Graviton Surge in a sec as well.
Yeah, Oliver's got to start eating these ultimates, but of course he does have no way to avoid being frozen if he gets just WM1 that by Kenzie, and that can make it incredibly hard to eat these. Down goes for Shatter.
Nice Shatter, a little bit of damage deleted, but okay. Chow and Kenzie deleted a little bit more hard. Luddy is going to go down as well. Blizzard not doing all too much now as Angry Titan just roll on through Winstrike.
They do. There's going to be an attempt at a contest here from Eng. Just going to be feeding himself in, wants to respawn with the remainder of his team. Looks like they're all actually going to be getting the forward spawn here, so we can anticipate a hold at the gate or potentially aggressing straight onto the cart. We do know that a lot of teams like to be very aggressive in holding Hollywood, don't want to give away any room for free, and that's going to be especially the case here for Winstrike, where they got a hold all on second. Showers for Graviton Surge, ready to go as well. We can combine it with various things, potentially Kenzie doing the M1, because of course you can freeze multiple people at once using that. It doesn't really only affect one target, but it does mean Kenzie could be in trouble.
Nice grab it onto the cart. They're not going to be able to remove the shield here, so they're just going to have to swing into it. They do claim one life in Luddy, and actually a Transcendent use from Angry Titans there. Avox not having that available for the next fight could be rather devastating. Winstrike is going to get Gravitons themselves, and both Brigittas are going to drop. A Transcendence wasn't enough to keep Unfixed alive, who was so close to that rally. Doesn't seem to matter though, as Losish and Elivo end up going down. Perfect positioning from Sharek yet again to deny so much damage and healing coming out from Avox, who was just left on the back alone.
Unfixed going to have to return to his team. He will have that rally ready to go as will Erky. They're about equal on ultimate charge right now, but Losish has the distinct advantage of almost having the availability of the Earth Shadow. The question is, will Erky be able to make a beeline for Sharek? For now, Winstrike have been very good at making sure these combos don't work as intended.
Both rallies bash Shatter straight onto Unfixed as he goes down. A beautiful charge from Losish, who actually got booted up onto the roof somehow. Pin Sharek and actually forces Luddy to actually get the kill. Only God finds two as well. They're almost on the home straight, Harry. Angry Titans are pushing towards this victory. 2 minutes remain in the time bank.
The RKO out of nowhere. Sharek did not see that one coming, but Winstrike, they've got their trump card ready again. It's going to be the combination, the Snow Globe, the Graviton Surge into the Blizzard. Elivote needs to eat one of these. It has to happen. We haven't seen an eaten Blizzard yet. We've seen a couple of grabs potentially. That's an early grab as well from Chow, trying to make sure the high ground can't be used, but Main's the first one to be picked.
What? Okay. The Transcendence was up on the high ground too. I mean, I'm not sure. Kenzie can't really combo this with anything now. Not even a Shatter. A Shatter is 20% away. They're pushing forward. They're only 10 meters away, Harry.
Was that a fat finger? Only goes to be able to lock them down as they come out as well. Of course, Kenzie can try and defend his team with the wall, making sure that Underwood cannot eat that Blizzard. He managed to eat it this time, I believe.
There's the Transcendence and the beat laid down for Winstrike. Both support Ultimate Shoes. They need to win the fight right here, right now. Lossless still has that Shadow, can play a little bit more defensively. Not defensive enough, though, as Main was actually at his back, pummeling his head full of those orbs of destruction. Elivote is going to be able to find the self-destruct kill as Charrick trying desperation plays to get the Shadow down onto a couple of people of AT, but it's too little, it's too late, as Kenzie is going to go down and Angry Titans will find themselves at match point.
Elivote knew the game that time. That was a really cool play from him. He saw that Kenzie was basically just WM1ing towards him, trying to freeze him up, and he was like, oh, no. He activated his boosters, went straight up in the air, and in the air, he turned around, and he was like, I know what you're up to.
I know you're going to hit Q.
He ate the Blizzard and basically sealed that fight for Angry Titans. So that's some great play from Elivote. I said that's what he needed to do. He needed to eat these Blizzards. It's a slow-moving projectile, to be honest. Like, there's so many things which can stop a Diva from eating it, like being frozen, because you've got no real defense against that. But managed to do it in the end. Good job.
Every Diva eating almost everything today, as we've seen over the last month, to be honest. That will be Angry Titans claiming Hollywood and the match point in the series. Winstrike going to have to turn around and do something quite spectacular in the next map. It is their choice, of course. We're going to jump over to the desk, though, and they're going to break down those two games some more.